Good morning. Wow, nice people to follow. Thank you very much for the invitation, Lloyds, for me to speak here. As an entrepreneur and as business owners, as I'm sure you'll all know, we can normally find the answers to questions we have. But today I'm going to ask you, are you asking yourself the right questions? So I'm going to pose to you a number of key questions, particularly in the current market, and I'm going to put them in 4 categories because I like to keep things simple. So I'm going to ask you some key questions that I think it's really important that we're asking ourselves right now. The 4 categories I'm going to talk about: people. John mentioned that people are key. Have the right people in your organisation. Strategy, execution, and cash, which we all know is the oxygen of business at the moment, is cash. So people. As owners of businesses, we know if we've got the right people on the bus, our life is happy. If we can go to work every day and we know that somebody's doing the right things for us, life is just so much easier. So 4 questions you should ask yourself about people right now. Have you got the right people on the bus in the right seats? I love this question. Would you enthusiastically rehire them? It's a question you should ask yourself right now about key talent. If you have to make a difficult decision in times like now where you might have to let some people go, what are you doing with the people that are left? They're often forgotten. Those are the people you should be focusing on, the ones you've chosen to stay in your business. And what plans have you got to grow your leaders in 2009? Most managers here have never even managed a competitive market, let alone a recession. So make sure you're spending some time growing their skills. I think it's key looking forward. So 4 questions you can ask yourself around people. Strategy. Great strategy drives revenue. And I think most businesses here over the last certainly 5 years have grown revenue, sometimes despite themselves. We've just been in a very growing market. We've been growing so fast that we haven't really taken the time to look at a lot of things. What's key right now on strategy is your customers. Speak to your customers more than ever before. They will tell you what they need right now. If you think you've been talking to your customers enough, you probably haven't. Get out there, even as owners of business, get out there and start talking to customers. What do they need right now? And when was the last time your entire management team spoke to customers? And I'm not just talking customer service and salespeople. Everybody, get in touch with the customer and find out exactly what they're needing right now. You will normally find there's a niche, there's an opportunity for you to help your customers if you're talking to them directly. Have you got a long-term goal? And the reason why I say this, times right now people are saying, Hazel, I can't think about a long-term goal. I'm focusing on the next 30 days or 90 days and survival. Have a long-term goal because it's going to give you momentum to pull you through these difficult times. If you haven't read Good to Great by Jim Collins, get a copy of that book and work out what your big, hairy, audacious goal is in the next 10 years. It will certainly motivate your teams to realize that there is life beyond the next 2 or 3 years where we might be struggling. And is everyone in your organization behind your strategy? Good strategy is 1% vision and 99% alignment. So you might know it. Typical entrepreneurial thing. I know exactly where we're going. Have I bothered to tell anybody else what the plan is, and are they with me? So 4 key questions around strategy. My favourite at the moment is execution. We've been running so fast just to keep up with this market. We haven't put in place those boring processes and systems and structures that we really need to have right now to survive. Good execution gives you more profit and more time, something I'm sure right now everybody could do with a little bit more of. So some questions around execution. Do you know the most profitable lines of business that you have? Is it clear really where your money comes from? Or do you do a whole load of services? Some make some money, some don't make as much, but you're not quite sure where. Find out, get the number crunchers out there, finding out exactly where you really make your profit. And if you take nothing but this next point out of my presentation this morning, pick something, anything, a number of things that you should stop doing right now that is draining money out of your business, that's not giving you a direct return in profitability. So find out what you should stop doing. Have you got a handful of priorities particularly for the first quarter of 2009. 3 to 5 things that your team should be all focused and aligned on working, using that collective energy and power. Have you identified a critical number? One thing, and I'm not talking a rear view number, not something you look at in your financials at the end of the month, something looking forward that can kind of predict, or best possible prediction of business moving forward. Find one number. It takes 6 data points to see a trend. So if you're only looking at that number monthly, it's 6 months before you see something. Find a number in your business and look at it daily. It will tell you what's going to happen going forward. Daily numbers. Communication is key right now, so make sure you're over-communicating. We recommend that every single member of staff is in a daily huddle of at least 10 to 15 minutes, looking at that number and also focusing on what they're going to do that day. Not what they did yesterday, what are you going to get done today? If you can get every single member of your staff saying this is my key focus for today, depending on how many staff you have, that's the number of critical things you'll get done every working day. And finally, cash. This is the oxygen of business right now. No cash? Well, that's the times where we maybe have sleepless nights. The best article I've read on cash is by a guy called Neil Churchill. It's a Harvard Business Review article. If you go onto Harvard Business Review articles on their websites, download this article. It's called How Fast Can Your Company Afford to Grow? And what it looks at doing is giving you a set of measures to identify your cash conversion cycle, which in simple terms, because I'm not a financial person, is how long it takes from when you've spent a dirham on inventory, cost of sales, people, before that dirham comes back into your pocket. How long does it take? And there's some fairly simple formulas. Give them to your accountants, get them to work that out. And then spend the next 6 months working on ways to reduce that cash conversion cycle to the point, ideally, that you're getting the dirham in your pocket before you're having to spend it out. You know you're successful at that point. So look at your cash. Cash is king right now, but also look at ways of reducing that. There are some key ones. Number of days it takes to close a deal in your business. How can we shorten that purchasing time from when we've had to spend money before we can sell something? Can we reduce Can we reduce mistakes? Can we eliminate those invoicing mistakes that we're sending out and then it takes longer for somebody to pay us? And can we find ways of improving our billing cycle? Some of those things. Finally, whether you're thinking of these questions or you've got your whole other questions in your mind, critical thought. Somebody out there in the world has already done what you're going through. So don't ask yourself a what or a how question. Ask yourself who. Who has done this before? Who can I pick the phone up? Who can I go on the internet to? Who can I network with that functions like this? Who can I speak to? Whether it be Lloyds or a professional organisation, any of the people that are here, or just somebody in the same business in the States, in Australia, in the UK. Who has done this before, and how can I learn from them? So I'll accelerate the process of what I need to apply. So whether you're asking questions about people, strategy, execution, or cash, find the who. They're definitely out there. And good luck, and congratulations to the winners so far, and congratulations to the future winners. It's an exciting time to be in business, and I really appreciate the opportunity to speak. Richard.
Well, Hazel, thank you very much indeed for those words.